There's been many times where I thought, well, we're fighting about X, but we're not really fighting about X. We're really fighting about ABC from before, and that baggage thing. I thought that was a great way to say it, baggage colliding. It just like a light bulb went off right away. I've been there.
All right, thanks, Bill and Pam. Good stuff. Responding to alarms, but responding in the right way, where sometimes it just might be understanding it's baggage colliding. So that was insightful.
I love what they were saying there was to look below the surface. Like there's a lot of tension quite often in marriage, but if we can just look below the surface and see what's causing that, quite often, like you said, well, what it is actually our baggage colliding.
By the way, we're with Dan and
Mike and
Diane and Dan and Danielle. I got to get the.
You know what? We're getting into the topic right away because it's so good. There's so much to talk about here, you guys. So your baggage colliding, what's below the surface, like figuring it all out. It's not easy.
You hear an alarm bell, but then you got to. What does that mean?
There's been many times where I thought, well, we're fighting about X, but we're not really fighting about X. We're really fighting about ABC from before, and that baggage thing. I thought that was a great way to say it, baggage colliding. Just like a light bulb went off right away. I've been there, done that.
And you were saying it was almost tense to watch Bill and Pam go through that, but then to see them come out so great on the other side and to recognize, what is going on and to handle it in a mature way was really, really awesome to see.
Object lesson in thinking through the moment and shooting up a prayer to God. What a great...
I loved that.
I love that.
Push, pause, shoot up a prayer.
And they ended up seeing it as one of the highlights, they said, of their marriage because they learned something about each other, and they, rather than, as she said, coming out with conflict, you come out with connection, and it kind of turned the conflict into a connection.
And I can so relate to what Pam was saying because for me, we're always out at events, and Mike is always around people, and people are always around him, and he's talking. And when our girls were little, I used to have to walk away sometimes, and I'd say, I'm going to step away, hold the girls' hands, they're right here, you got them, and blah, blah, blah. He's continue talking. So I'm thinking, you're not listening to me. Babe, I have to walk. Get the girls. I got them. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm going to come back and my kids aren't going to be here because he's not paying me any attention. He's so engaged in this conversation. So I could so relate to what she was saying because sometimes it seems like, I got it. But like she was saying, they're going to float away. They're going to float away. They're not going to be here, right? So I could relate to what she was saying.
My baggage says, right? Don't leave. Yeah, the kids are here. I'm talking to somebody. Don't go anywhere.
Yeah. But sometimes you just have to.
It's easy to get distracted. In that case, it probably was a good alarm that you were having because you're thinking, okay, he's kind of seeming kind of distracted here. But hopefully I think Bill, when he was on the beach there, he's saying, you know what, I'm focused. I'll watch the kids. I'm not distracted. You go ahead and leave, and I'll take care of them. And then they come to the realization that, okay, what's really going on here? And as they said, it's like the Holy Spirit, that God can kind of drop things into our heart. And she said, well, you know what? I think it's because my father was an alcoholic. He was unreliable. He couldn't count on him. And she was projecting that onto him.
I think the point is that we have to be able to hit the pause button in the moment, in the heat of the moment. We got to hit the pause button and say, okay, hang on a second. There's a lot. Exactly. Lord, there's a lot more going on here than what meets the eye. Give me wisdom because I need to see. We have a story similar to, well, not about the kids, but we drive down to Indiana. That's where our grandkids live, and our daughter and son-in-law. And so we take road trips, as often as we can to go down and see them. It's about a 7-hour drive. So on the way home, on one of these trips, I was almost out of my favorite body powder, okay? And I can't find it here in Canada, only in the States. And so we had to stop and at every drugstore.
Okay, now we have to set this up a little bit better than this. Okay, when I'm on the road, I want to get home. Okay, let's just get in. It's a long drive. But she's want to stop at every Walmart or drugstore or whatever to see if they have this certain kind of body power. And I'm thinking, come on, hon.
So-
no, and I'm getting frustrated. I'm getting a little upset, and yes, I do get upset once in a while. and and I'm saying, can we just get home? Like just get a different kind at home
And
or
so
whatever.
it's escalating in the car. It's just the two of us in the car driving. It's escalating. I'm saying, honey, no, I'm almost out. You don't understand. I'm almost out of this body powder. And finally, well, but there's something deeper. And so we're back and forth. And finally, I had this light bulb moment. Wait a second. Ron doesn't understand the deeper. This body powder was actually what my mom used to wear all the time. And the smell of it reminds me of my mom. And she died 9 years ago, and I was very close to my mom, and it's my only connection with her, you know, with the senses. And so I'm almost out, and we're in the States where they sell it. I can't get it at home. We can't even order it online. We can't find it. And so, so I just needed, and I was getting emotional, and he was saying, I don't know why you're getting so, we got to. And so I thought, okay, I've got to tell him, there's something deeper here. And I let him know.
And it was a light bulb for me. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, now I understand why she makes such a big deal of this. We're going to find that powder.
And he was my champion.
And we took our time and we
skills kick in.
Yes,
and the desire to
exactly.
want to
And so he starts
serve your wife
calling
comes
ahead
in.
to different, like we're going to be in this city in 30 minutes. Let's call ahead and see if they have it there. So, you know, it made sense.
So
but-
you recruited him. In a sense. You recruited him rather than the fighting. You by sharing that with him, you brought him on board. And like Bill says, we can bring as men our problem-solving skills in, and suddenly
He's the man.
He's the mission. He's going to get you that.
He's got it. Yeah. So I think it just is a matter of understanding, truly understanding each other, and not doing this, but stopping, pausing, and then finding a way to
and
just
asking
flow.
God for some wisdom
And
as well.
because He'll always give us wisdom when we ask.
Speaking
Okay.
of-
Find the body powder?
Yes, you found it.
We got it. We got
I was
it.
going to wonder.
We're good.
Speaking of wisdom,
Yeah.
Dr. Gary Chapman is going to be with us in just a moment. He's going to be teaching on things you probably wish you knew before you got married. Don't go away.
Stay with us.
And then I wish I'd known the old saying, like mother, like daughter, like father, like son, is not a myth.